So when there's a lot of angles and you've got y's and x's, I don't want you to mix them all up in this case because right so basically I want you to think there's a y here and there's a y over there. So I want you to just think of those two angles at first. Okay, so we know that I'm going to highlight colors are when you review your notes. I'm telling you, when they're colors, it's so easy. It's like, okay, I remember what I did there. You're reviewing for the exam. I hope you go through your notes. Boom, it's easy to see, right? So I know that these ones are alternate exterior angles, and we're just assuming these two lines are parallel, right? If these two lines weren't parallel, it's game over. We can't do anything. Okay, we're guaranteed that these two are. So I know that these are alternate exteriors. I'm going to highlight that. And I know that if lines are parallel, that they will, what am I doing here? They are congruent, right? So an equal sign with a wave, it's just congruent. You can say equal, that is fine. Okay. So what are we going to say here? 2y plus 10 is equal to 4y minus 14. So first use the property to set it up. And before you do anything, clean up each side separately. Clean up the left-hand side, clean up the right-hand side. I can't do much more. Okay, so now I'm going to start bringing stuff over. And so my go-to is to bring all the variables to the left and bring all the constants over to the right. So it's 2y, the 4y comes over subtracting. On the right side, I have the negative 14, it stays, right? The 10 comes over subtracting. And then you have, this is negative 2y is equal to negative 24. And so I have, the only thing left now is to divide out whatever the coefficient in front of y. I want it to be 1, right? So this cancels out. So y is equal to 12 degrees. And so there you solve for y. So this is kind of its own little chunk, right? Done all the work for y there. Now I'm going to draw attention to the other one. Okay, the x's here, and maybe all I will do is I'll do one of these. Right, there's a straight line there, and so that means that I know that these two are supplementary. They're along a straight line, right? So we go 11x plus 8 plus 9x plus 32. And don't just leave it like that. Like a lot of students make them equal to each other. That's a big mistake. When there are CIAs or when they're along a straight line, you add them up and you make that equal to 180 degrees. Okay. Since there are no negatives, nothing, I can get rid of the brackets. Oops, I missed the x there. There. And so I will combine like terms. So the 11x and the 9x turn to 20x. The 8 and the 32, if you add those up, gets me 40 and equal to 180. So you're first cleaning up the left-hand side. You clean up everything until you can't go any further. Then I bring the 40 over to the other side. Subtract 40. So I would encourage you to don't rush to the final answer. I know we love to just say x is this, but that's when mistakes happen. Clean up, kind of tell the story, what's happening. And this would be 7, right? 7 degrees. I can't believe I didn't use this one before. If you're ever cold, Just stand in the corner. It's always 90 degrees. 70 is very warm, right? 90 is even warmer. Anyways, we're good? You're the toughest crowd I've had so far with jokes, guys. That's okay, they're lame. I gotta get better. I gotta up my game. Okay, given that ABC is 35, so A to B to C, so this is 35 here. So I'm just gonna highlight that, right? This angle goes in this corner. And EAD, so E to A to D, right? So remember, you're connecting this segment and that segment, and so the angle in between is 75 degrees. So you've got this 75 there. So now we can solve for other angles. Perhaps, in my opinion right now, the easiest it would be this corner here, because I see that big triangle. I see a small triangle as well, but I'm just gonna say this. If you had markings here that told you this is an isosceles triangle here, you could find these angles, right? But we're not told that, so we're not gonna go for it. Okay, sorry. So let's find C. This is gonna be my starting point, and I'm just gonna go 180 minus 75 minus 35. That's 110, so this is 70, right? 70 degrees. So I've got 70, and Y, I use the sum of triangle property. And I know this is kind of weird, right? All of my diagrams are not drawn to scale. They're not drawn to scale. So you're like, obviously this is 35, Mr. Dirksen, because this looks very isosceles to me, right? Like, look at, like, I can measure this, I can measure that. It's the same, but they're not drawn to scale, so don't go for that. Look for markings, look for anything else, but don't go by the diagram, unfortunately. So this is 70. I can write this down now. I know what that is. And another piece of information this throws in here is that that line is parallel to that one. So that's very good. Okay, that helps me find other angles. That helps me finding this one because these are CIAs. It helps me to find that one because these two are CIAs. It would help me to find this one because I know this one and that one are corresponding. Same on this side. These two are corresponding. You've got a straight line here, so you could even just find angles. Once you find this one, you can find that one. Lots of options here. So let's go ahead and find one. ADE. ADE, so it's this one right here. I'm running out of colors, but that's the one they want. So I'm going to say 35 degrees. And I'm going to use corresponding. Corresponding angles are congruent. Doesn't mean that how you solved it is wrong. And I'm telling my audience that was my second angle that I found. Okay. CED. CED, it's this one right here. How about this? We write this down. We write down that this is 35 so we know. This one I know is 110 already because I observed that these are CIAs and they're between parallel lines, so they must add up to 180. So I'm going to go 110 here. Consecutive interior angles are equal to 180. That was my third angle that I found. Okay, let's keep going. ADB, ADB. So this one is strange. This one, I'm going to do that one next. What's going on with that angle? ADB. Well, remember, you're going from A to D, right? And then from D to B. So it's this whole thing. How about this one I'm going to use a color. I have blue yet. Okay, so it's asking for that angle. So ADB, what is the, without even knowing anything, any angles in this corner here, in this intersection, what is this? 180, it's a straight angle, yes. And that's all you need to do. Straight angle is equal to 180. Sometimes my key will have supplementary angles. If you see that, don't worry about it. They're the same. Okay, we're talking about the same kind of property here. And last but not least, AED. That's my last one. AED, it's this one right here. You've got, the way I see it, 3 options for this one right here. You can use corresponding. We know this is 70, right? I don't think that's debatable. Corresponding, you've got a straight angle, and you've got a small triangle here. So I can tell at least 3 different ways to solve for this one. So I'm going to say a corresponding, angles are congruent, or straight angle is equal to 180, or sum of triangle is equal to 180. So that's, in my opinion, the beauty of angles. Like once you start thinking about it, there's a lot of options here. So AED is 70, it's 70 degrees. Okay. Any other ones? Nothing on 31? 28, number 3? Yeah, let's do that one. '28, the very last one on 28. Okay. So we recognize that this line and that line, they're parallel. That's very important. But no other lines are. So that's also something worth mentioning. So where do I start? So I'm going to think out loud here. I see a bunch of triangles, right? There's a triangle here. So triangles are going to be helpful at some point. I'm going to focus on a number. So I'm looking at this 38, and notice this transversal that I'm going to travel along is touching this parallel line. So that's important. So if I travel along that transversal, I'm going to get through this busy intersection here, get to the other parallel line, and then do a turn. You can tell that you have a Z there, sort of, right? So that is my key to unlock, like to bring stuff over to this other side, perhaps. So I'm going to use this color, and both times I'm turning onto the parallel line, okay? So I can bring this 38 over here. So I'm going to start with A, in fact. So let's go and make that our first angle that we're finding, and that's 38. And it's because alternate interior angles we know that they're congruent between parallel lines. And now I've got this small triangle here. Why don't we stay here and solve for D next? So I will do that. That's my second choice. I go 180 minus 38 minus 44. And what do we have there? 98? Feels like a Monday. Mondays and Fridays, you have to be very careful, okay? Like, let me do my thing and then give me 5 seconds before you copy, otherwise. So D is good, so sum of triangle is equal to 180. So what do I see sometimes? What are some of the things that I see? Students, they take this one and put it over here. Like, look, they're kind of alternate interior-ish, right? Low-key interior. Tried something. But there's no parallel line here, so you can't use it, okay? So don't make that mistake. You want to see that the transversal you're traveling on is touching both of the parallel lines. All right, so we're good there. D is taken care of. I'm going to maybe write that in. And I notice that these two are along a straight line here, so I can find E very, very easily. I will go ahead and do that. I'm just going to go 180 minus 98. And that gives me 82 degrees. Okay, so 82 degrees. And I just used a straight angle is equal to 180. So I will put 88 here. C, how can I solve it? It's also along a straight line. So I can use straight angle, but I can also use, what are C and E again? Vertically opposite, right? So I can find C. It's my fourth angle. It's 88. I used vertically opposite. Angles are congruent, or straight angle is equal to 180. So it's up to you what you want to use there. Yeah.
I thought U was 82, right?
That's right. This here?
Excuse me,
Yes. Yes.
is her good?
Yeah, sorry. That's my bad. I see what I did wrong here. This was supposed to be 82. Which means C is 82 as well. Thank you. See your husband. So this is 82. Sorry, yeah, where did 88 come from, right? That'd be more than 180. Good. B, how would I do B here? You know what? There's a lot of options now. So you could find, if this is 98, we know that this is 98 also. And remember, all of these four angles here should add up to 360. But this is not, I don't ask you for it, but you can easily put 98 and then use sum of triangle. Or you can use this 44 touches the parallel line here. If I travel on this transversal and I turn, right, I have alternate interior angles here as well. So this is 44. We know that for sure. That's my fifth angle. And I will say alternate interior angles are congruent, or you could have used sum of triangle is equal to 180. The more angles you know, the more options you have to justify what you did. F, so over here, I will use another sum of triangle for F. Don't use alternate interior or anything like that. I will just use that. Okay. So F is 180 minus 82 minus 43. Let me see here. 85, 125. So 55? So F is 55, I use sum of triangle. That's the last one I did. So I would appreciate if you give me the order in which you solved. Okay? We're good?